Nope.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if your penis was gay?
What?
Yeah, like if you were straight, but your knob was only into dudes.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How can your penis be a different... Fuck.
Ugh. Cut. Gus, could you please take the dick out of your mouth for 1 second so you can say your lines?
Hey, I'd like to see you try reading these stupid lines.
I'm with Gus. Who wrote this shit anyway? I didn't study at Juilliard for 6 years to read this garbage.
You think I'm wearing these pants because they're fashionable? I'm the director and you're the actor. It's my job to tell you that you're bad and that you should be better. So do that.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll be in my trailer. Asshole.
Prima donna.
Guys, does this mean we're breaking? I gotta take a shit.
Yeah. Take 5, everybody.
Hey there, pretty lady. Want to make out?
Fucking Gus. Tell me I'm stupid. God.
Mr. Burns, I got your coffee, sir.
Ah, excellent. Why are you making eye contact with me? Shoo.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
God damn.
Bernie, there's been a problem with the Panther.
What now?
It's gone. I don't know where it is. I can tell you where it isn't.
Oh, God damn it. Well, go find it. How far could it get on spaghetti legs? And somebody lock Joel in the bathroom so he doesn't freak out. Nice. The set's looking pretty good, guys. What the fuck is this? Red paint? On this show? I didn't even know this color existed.
But, we're all out of blue.
It's blue or nothing. Get the fuck off my set. Amateurs.
Bernie, can we please get some fans in here? I'm getting sweat underneath my boobies, and the suit's not holding up great either.
Miles, I told you, you need to be hot to act hot. If you're not sweating, you're not emoting. That's the first thing they teach you at acting class.
Yeah, I don't really think that's a thing.
Hey, Miles, how about you shut the fuck up?
No, the darkness!
Bernie, thank God you're here. Something went wrong with the makeup order, and, well, look at Chris.
Hey, guys. How do I look?
Oh, gross! Why is his skin that color? I think I'm gonna throw up.
What should we do?
Ugh, I don't know. Just throw a paper bag over his head or something. Yikes.
Oh, Bernie, glad I ran into you. I'm having a tough time with the script.
You are?
Yeah, like, what's my motivation here? Like, who is Brandon? What is my character?
Brandon, you're not in this episode. Like, at all.
Oh, I'm not in the script. That's my motivation. I'm like, there, but I'm outside the narrative.
All right, let's try this again. Places, everybody. Where the fuck is Gus?
Found the Panther. It was in Gus's trailer. So, yeah, bad news.
Oh, for the love of God. Okay, fine. Let's just replace him with Joel. Oh, God damn it. I give up.
Now what?
And cut! Finally, see what happens when we get some professionals? Hey, great job, Panther. You're gonna be a star one day, kid.
I know I'm gonna open myself up to problems. I'll just say this. Did not know you can't leave a can of Coke in a car in the middle of summer. Did not know this. It exploded.
Oh, like an unopened can of Coke?
Unopened can of Coke. Like, it is, I had no idea this could happen. And so I didn't go in my car and be like, oh, this can exploded. I got in my car and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like if someone came in and violently murdered a can of Coke. There's just Coke everywhere.
I played GTA Online a few times with Miles. I remember the first time we played together, I'd been getting into like these gunfights with these other dudes. And so then Miles joined the game and I was like, hey, let's go play some golf, Miles. He's like, yeah, all right, cool.
I went to the golf course. I'm waiting there, and I'm like, hey, man, you coming? And I hear, yeah, sorry, these guys are messing with me. I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. And you go driving in, and your car's fucked. I'm like, oh, well, glad you made it. You know, yeah, like I said, there are these guys, and they're here! And these dudes come go to the wall in like a car and shoot me to death and just start run! It almost been compromised. It was just it was incredible.
Speaking of the wedding, you almost pulled the ultimate prank at that wedding.
Fuck, I almost ruined Michael and Lindsay's wedding twice. There was no way that Gavin, he remembered to turn off his phone. And so, Michael hates Gavin's ringtone, which is the So I had in my text, don't forget to turn off your phone. And I was waiting for is there anyone who objects to this union? I was waiting on that. And I sent it, and nope, he had his phone off.
I think I checked to see if my phone was on silent about 10 times before I walked down the stairs. And in the end, I just turned my phone completely off.
So the other thing was, we're eating appetizers while you guys are outside taking pictures. And Monty's like, where are they? And I said, they're outside taking pictures. You know, Monty's like, what? They didn't take pictures before? It's like, no, because the bride and groom couldn't see each other. He goes, meh. So and then we're sitting there, and I look over and I see the cake. And I go, hey, Monty, want a piece of cake? And he goes, yeah, what kind of cake is it? I go, I don't know. Just get a piece. I go, get me a piece when you get one, too. He goes, okay. Sheena goes, what are you doing? He took a full step towards the cake. And I was like, oh my God. This is going to be the greatest moment of my life.
I don't think he'd be sorry, would he? Like, Lindsay would be like, what? He'd be like, I mean, it's cake. I was going to eat it anyway.
South by Southwest is a big festival that happens here in Austin. Oh, we're doing a panel, too.
Yeah.
But Gus said, hey, we have a panel, so we're just going to call it the Rooster Teeth panel. And I said, nope, we have to come up with a better title than that. So Gus and I went back and forth. We came up with the longest, most ridiculous title for our panel.
The title is Alternative Careers in Gaming. The Science of Play Redefined as Art via Content Creation in the Ongoing and Evolving Paradigm of the Post-Network Media Environment. What does it mean to you? Featuring Rooster Teeth. It's got a colon, it's got parentheses, it's got a dash.
And they're going to have to put it on like one of those cards that goes up on the stupid tripod. The roof.
I had a girlfriend one time who told me she used to talk to trees. Jesus Christ. I was like, oh, like you get bored or something and you're hanging out. And she's like, no, I mean, like I communicate with trees. And I was like, well, do they talk back? And she's like, well, she got real embarrassed and kind of shy. And she's like, kind of. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, well, I communicate with nature, with the trees. And I was like, wait, like a tree hugger? And she's like, I do hug trees. She got kind of indignant. And I was like, God. All right.
So was that girl different to the one who didn't like you watching her eat?
Same girl. Actually, would refuse to be seen eating. This girl would wait for me to go to the bathroom, and then she would eat. I would look away on purpose so that she could take bites.
Gavin or Google? Google or Gavin? Which one said it? Let's find out. Hey!
I'm feeling lucky.
The first phrase that I gave to both Gavin and Google is, can you break? First return, can you break your own neck if you really wanted to? The others return, can you break your lungs if you only breathe in?
Lungs is Gavin, your own neck is Google.
Gus, you are correct.
Hey.
Gavin wanted to know if you could break your lungs if you only
break a lung?
When you breathe, you pull out your rib cage, right? And that just sucks air in your lungs.
Right.
So if someone got your rib cage and just like yanked on it, air would fly in and explode your lungs.
Yeah, that's not you breathing in too much. That's a motherfucker yanking on your ribs.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody shoots you in the head, it's not the air that got in that killed you. It's the person who shot you in the head.
Doctor, what do you think happened to this patient? He has air on the brain.
All right, the next question was, this involves babies. Do babies... ... First question was, do babies poop in the womb? The other one was, do babies float?
Well, assuming that do babies float is Google makes me really concerned about the health of our babies in this country. It's like, I've got this new baby. I wonder if it's going to float.
Or maybe it's people just trying to solve a really weird, like, physics homework problem.
I think do babies float is Google.
It turns out that Gavin wanted to know, do babies float?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I'd heard of babies being born in water, and I thought, that's pretty cool. But then I just thought, well, what happens next, though?
They've got a guy with a pool skimmer on the side of the water, like ready to scoop the baby out. He's like, I caught a dead possum with this thing. The baby's no problem.
So, Joel, let me see if I'm getting this straight. You're having a technical problem with some piece of technology that you own? I find that hard to believe.
Are we talking about the switcher box that's conveniently located at your foot that magically gets kicked?
The funny thing was, you were not here one morning because Joel had a problem with his computer. So I got under there and was checking all the cables. I go, what is this huge splitter thing that's on here? And Joel, that's a thing. I don't know what that is. And I'm under there for about 10 minutes trying to route all the cables to figure out what's wrong. Jeff walks in, sees me under the desk, and just immediately says, check the power on the splitter. He probably kicked it out again. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. Right. Jeff was there half a second and knew what the problem was.
More complex than this.
Did you guys read about the kid who confronted the bully?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a guy who was being bullied, so he confronted the bully and stood up to him, and the bully stabbed him.
What?
Well, no, what happened was the bully was, like, picking on some other girl.
Oh, man.
And so, like, the kid tried to step in and, like, tell the bully to stop picking on the girl.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he got stabbed.
Sounds like somebody brought a John Hughes script to a knife fight. But you were commenting about them trying to go through and make Dead Rising less Japanese. So they hired a Canadian developer
to make it more Western.
I can imagine being a boardroom saying, "You know what this game needs? It needs to be more Canadian." How about instead of a camera, he's got a cup of Tim Hortons coffee? Can you imagine all the cutscenes? You'd be like, "Wow, you guys look really tired."
Have some poutine.
All these super nice Canadian zombies. Hey, how are ya?
If the universe is infinite and all possibilities exist, is there a rock on a planet somewhere that looks exactly like Bernie's skull? Like, imagine astronaut Bernie landing on this alien planet. Like, that rock looks just like my face. I have a bay window in my dining room. I regularly stand there and I look out in my yard and I just say, "Get off my property." My wife will be like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm just like, "Everyone."
Are you talking to the
I'm like,
squirrel?
"No, but there's not even anybody there." Just like, in general, I'm just like, "Get off my property."
If someone does walk up, are you like, oh.
Yes. Man,
I've been waiting for this moment.
Get off. We were talking about like Godzilla. Like, people are scared shitless of bugs. So what if Godzilla was like exactly like a person, and when it's all humans, it was like
it's like knocking down buildings. Get off!
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Godzilla's like an aerosol can. He like shakes and sprays people walking around.
Finally smashes a human and then looks at it. He's just like,
fucking the tank rolls up, and Godzilla takes and puts a cup over it.
He's like, "I'll deal with that later."
I would pay great money if that was the first scene in the new Godzilla. He comes out of the ocean and a fucking jet flies by him, and he goes, "Yeah!" He goes up to other giant monsters. "Is it on me? Is it on me?"
I had a dream last night that I got arrested for playing video games drunk. I got a GUI. And then the cops put like a monitoring bracelet on my leg so that I couldn't play video games drunk. Like my Xbox wouldn't turn on if I was drunk.
It was like a thing where you have to blow into it.
Yeah, exactly, like a collar on a car. And so Ray was like, "Don't worry, I can hook you up. I have Ukrainian Xboxes." And I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "For some reason, the only Xboxes in the world that work are Ukrainian." It had something to do with like alcohol and their religion. So you can import Xboxes from the Ukraine to use them while you're drunk. Do we tell the story in a Let's Play yet if I piss my pants?
Tell the story, Jeff.
So I fell asleep on the sofa one night and was having this really intense dream where I was at a party and everybody at the party was a dick. And then I went to the bathroom and there was a basketball game on. No, it was football. There was a TV in the bathroom. It was on the opposite side of the toilet. So when you were pissing, you can't see, so I had to keep looking behind me. And I was super interested. So I'm like turning around, and I keep wondering if I'm pissing all over this guy's toilet because I'm not looking where I'm peeing. And then I woke up and I'd pissed myself. Hey, Jack, you remember back in the 80s when stealing cable was a thing?
Oh, yeah.
It was a huge
get the
thing.
black box.
Yeah.
So I was visiting some family friends in Nashville. They were like big cable thieves, right? Which was really cool because I could watch a lot of cool stuff. So we were watching fucking Stolen Cable with my friend Billy one day. We were sitting there and we keep hearing this beep, beep, beep. What the fuck is that noise? And it's slowly getting louder and louder. And eventually we look out the window, and there's a dude like a yard over with like a fucking science fiction contraption with antennas and stuff walking around like looking at houses. And it's going beep, beep. And as we watch him for a moment, like, what is this asshole doing? And it gets closer and closer. And he gets into Billy's backyard, and it starts going beep, 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 beep. And he looks up at the house, and we're looking out of the window, and Billy just reached over and unplugged the TV and the cable box, and it goes beep, beep. And the guy goes, he like shakes it for a second, and he looks around, and he's like, huh. And he just turned around and walked the other way.
We went to E3 one year. We rented a van, and it was the first time that Jeff and Gus met Matt. So I pointed out that, hey, we're in Los Angeles. We're only 5 hours away from Vegas. Gus goes, I'm not going to Vegas. I go, what do you mean you're not going to Vegas? He gets so fucking infuriated. I'm like, what's going on? Why are you so mad about Vegas? He goes, I'm not going to Vegas. Don't talk about Vegas. So we're in the Del Taco parking lot in like downtown LA, like right on Transvestite Alley. I say, guys, look, I'm going to say one last time, we can just get Del Taco, we drive straight to Vegas. So Gus says, I swear to God, if you say Vegas one more time, I'm getting out of this van. I go, okay, fine, I give up. I will not mention Vegas for us tonight. I apologize.
In my mind, I was like, he's testing me. I just said I would leave the van, and he just said, I was like, if I don't leave, he knows I'm a pussy. So I have to leave.
Oh, no.
I remember I opened the van door and just walked out.
Into the night. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
It was my first time ever in L.A. I walked a block down the street, realized my mistake. This was a sketchy-ass part of L.A.
It was pretty seedy.
So I got a cab. I took a cab back to our hotel. I packed all my shit, and I was like, I'm flying back to Austin tonight. Fuck this. I'm going home.
No. And that's a note on the bed.
Are you serious? I wrote, see you in Austin, assholes.
Asshole.
Does anybody else have any cable theft stories?
No.
Does anybody want Swedish Fish?
Michael,
I'll
you've
have
seen
Swedish Fish.
your family's from New Jersey. You probably stole stuff, right?
Yeah, my father wasn't about it because he's not from New Jersey. My brother is a piece of shit, and he got a black box and stole cable.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
born and raised in New Jersey. That was back when pay-per-view was just like Channel 96. They would just air movies all day, so I would watch like 2 of the newest movies 7 times in a week.
Nice.
And fucking Spice TV.
Hey, now.
Nothing greater than a 12-year-old boy having Spice TV.
Dude, that's
I think
how you
that's
became a man.
I think within a
pre-internet, man.
year, I doubled my dick size just from stretching it out so much.
Thank you
Oh,
for doing
also,
That's
you're a
fact number 6.
Dude, here's fact number 7. If you're a 13-year-old kid and you have Spice TV, I absolutely recommend you fucking record it and sell it to your friends, because that's what I did.
You were selling Spice TV VHS ripoffs.
Yeah.
I sold blow pops and blow pop cards. Hey, Ray, what'd you sell?
Pokemon
Ray sold
cards.
Pokemon cards. That's the saddest thing I've
That's
ever heard.
sad. That's fact number 8. That was sad. All
Fact
right.
number 9. It's depressing to be Ray.
Fact number 10. We're done.
So, whenever this happened, like a month ago, Emily calls me over. And she says, I just got this weird email. Can you take a look at it? And I look, and it's like a Microsoft account verification email. And she says, I guess I have this account, and someone recovered the password. And I looked, and it was like one of our shared, email accounts. It's like, sure was. That's really weird. Someone was able to log in, and they added a phone number to your account. So I said, well, let's call it. Let's see if we recognize who picks it up. So I pick up the desk phone, and I call off of line 3, which is not our main number. And I hear, hello? I'm like, wrong number. And I hang up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is. We got to report this.
Well, earlier that morning, I'd come in to start working on RVB, and every now and then, Halo 4 will kind of forget that we downloaded some maps. So we need to connect it to Xbox Live to say, hey, don't worry, we do have these maps. So whoever set up the original RVB counts, they used like the store email address.
I just used whatever the fuck we had available.
Or the administrative
That's
email address. And because of that, I don't know the passwords to all that stuff. I'll try and enter it, and it'll say, hey, this password's wrong. I was like, fuck. But then later that day, we get an email from Adam saying like, hey guys, remember, don't use this password because it's been compromised. Just today, we had somebody try and hack into something using that old password. Stop using it. And I'm sitting next to Adam Ellis, and I go, hey Adam, what kind of breach did we have today? And he goes, somebody tried to get into a Microsoft account password. Was it the admin Microsoft account? Yeah. Why? I'm the hacker. I'm the hacker. Look, and I point to my email, and I have the email. It's like, hey, that password doesn't work. And he goes, no, we called somebody today. And that's when I remembered I was standing in the fucking break room, waiting to go to the bathroom. I get a call, and I go, I don't know this number. Hello? Oh, wrong number. Hang up. And as soon as I hang up the phone, I go, I should start answering random numbers as, hey, this is Miles.
What I love is that you were in the break room. We're literally like 15 feet away from each other. There's no walls between us. And we don't hear each other.
Did you ever talk about who you walked in on?
When we still had temporary bathrooms out here that got torn down, for a little while, one of the locks didn't work
It
right.
didn't show occupied.
Right. On the inside, you would think it was locked, but it hadn't actually locked.
That's the worst, guys.
So I walked up to the door one day and opened it, and Lindsay was sitting on the toilet, and her reaction was just to go, Gus, no. And I just closed the door, and I was like, I'm so sorry, it says unoccupied. And I was like, I'm sorry, you can't wear white to your wedding now.
That's funny. That brings up another story. I know a guy who he did a lot of dead body work.
Like he played dead bodies.
Right,
That's
that
what
was
you
his
mean.
thing, right? And like he worked on X-Files' dead body in the morgue, and it's like they put him in the drawer. It's like between takes it gets really quiet, you know that. But it's like if it's really quiet, you don't want to say anything because you don't want to fuck up the
Right.
take. So he was like in the drawer, and it got really quiet, and he like laid there, and he laid there. It was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. He's like, all right, clearly something's going on. And so he like struggles to get himself out of the drawer, and like everyone's gone. They're gone.
Oh
they went
my
to
God.
lunch. They like forgot about him. They left him laying in drawers.
So the big thing is that with Brandon, he has been annoying the hell out of me because he won't stop talking about his George Foreman grill. And in his apartment, he got this George Foreman grill. But anyway, so we go to Lockhart, and Brandon was bragging about his George Foreman grill endlessly while we're eating this barbecue, and it was deliciously good. I made the joke to Brandon. I said, I bet they cooked it on a George Foreman grill. And he's like, very funny. And then I walked out to get more food to send back for you guys at the office. And I'm up at the front counter, and I look at the front counter, and I go, you got to be fucking kidding me. I could not believe the luck of this. So I walked back to Brandon. I said, Brandon, I said they cooked all their food on a George Foreman grill. I said, you're not going to believe it. They actually do have a George Foreman up there. And he goes, what? He goes, no way. I got to see this. We walk up to the front of the restaurant, and it's George Foreman standing there. He had just happened to come to the restaurant that day in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Like, it's the weirdest setup of all time. The look on Brandon's face is he thought that I flew in George Foreman for this joke. What are the chances of that happening?
Would you take $10 million, you just get it, but for the rest of your life, there's a snail that's trying to get you, and you can't ever be touched by the snail, otherwise you'll die.
Is he actively trying to get me?
It's going for you at all times,
Wow.
but at the speed of a snail. So you could, go to a different country and try and forget about it, but eventually it would show up.
Yeah, especially if, the $10 million came with immortality as well. And the snail's immortal as well.
Think about it, if it started at work, you could go home, you'd be safe for the night. When you come back to work, be careful.
I would get on a spaceship and, go to another planet, and then I would video conference with somebody and say, show me the snail. And they show me it on Earth. And then whenever you land on, Alpha Centauri 2, you get off the plane and be like, where's that fucking snail?
Well, you don't know. You're on that video conference, you start thinking, what if the snail got to the guy? And that's another snail, and the real snail is coming to get you.
The snail's in the doorway slowly creeping up on you going, laugh it up, asshole. Let me get you. How disappointed would the snail be every time you change directions?
Yeah. Fuck. You could just wait for it to get right up to your foot and then just step over it and go the other way.
What happens when the snail kills you, when it gets you? Does it get a share of the $10 million, whatever you haven't spent?
Yeah, it just sits in the briefcase of money.
I got really drunk in a hot tub. So we went out to Sundance and rented a condo. And in the complex, there was a hot tub. So and it's January in a ski resort, so there's tons of snow everywhere. And I was like, it'd be awesome to go out this freezing cold weather and just get in the hot tub and drink a bottle of vodka. Yep. So I did that. And I went out, got in the hot tub.
Bottle?
I drank a bottle of vodka.
Christ.
Good lord.
And I got really, really fucked up.
Really? No.
And
Shock,
to the
you
point
don't
where
say.
the hot tub wasn't very far from the condo. It was maybe 50 feet, and I couldn't make it. And along the way, someone had made a snowman, and I really needed to pee really bad. So I was like, oh, fuck it. I was drunk. I unzipped my pants and started pissing all over the snowman. When I'm halfway through, the person who made the snowman came out of their condo. They were like, what are you doing? I made that. And they were like, I created. All you could do is stand there and destroy it. I said, I'm the destroyer. And I was just peeing all over her snowman. I went back to the condo, threw up on the wall, locked the bathroom door, and passed out in the bathroom.
That's amazing.
Is there one thing you want to learn how to do?
I want to fly a plane, but
Why don't you take pilot lessons?
Esther says she will kill me if I try to fly a single-engine plane because she says those things crash all the time.
Just don't tell her. Just go and take up a hobby.
Just wait until
I'm
you're
going to go
really
do
old.
something right now. I'll be back
Make something up.
You come home with those old-fashioned goggles on your head in the
Where
cab.
have you been? Oh, I wasn't flying. I swear, I was playing a flight simulator.
Yeah.
Rice is the only huddle where someone has a compass and there's a dude measuring wind speed. There's the one dude who's there just on athletic scholarships, and he's like, "Look, guys, I don't know what a friction coefficient is, but can we just run a post pattern? Throw it to me. That's it. I'll catch the goddamn ball."
I sent a message to Gavin when he was in England. I wrote this thing, Gavin was moving out of his house, the house he grew up in as a kid, where he started slow-mo guys. It seemed like you were depressed about it. But I wrote Gavin this, heartfelt thing about, I said, don't ever forget, houses come and go, but a home is where you make your life. I said, you can sell your houses, but a home is where people love you. Don't forget that. And Gavin wrote back, hey, thanks for the message. By the way, that turned my phone gay.
I said that was the gayest thing my phone had ever seen, and my phone likes boys now.
Whenever I was a little kid, part of learning bathroom stuff, my dad was like, all right, so you go to the bathroom and, you kind of, shake it. You go doot-doot, shake it.
Did he use the sound effect, though?
Yeah, he used the sound effect. And so every time I went to the bathroom, I'd pee and I'd go doot-doot. Until I get a little too old to the point my dad was like, Christopher, you don't have to go doot-doot. And I'm like, really?
But have you been in urinals before and done the doot-doot in public?
I don't know exactly how old I had gotten.
It was probably when you were a teenager and you were in your closed bedroom going doot-doot-doot-doot-doot-doot.
I like apocalyptic scenarios. Like I even have like an apocalypse kit at my house. It's a backpack, and I got like a hatchet and like a duster. So I'm gonna be like the cowboy that like strolls into town.
So part of your apocalypse kit is your wardrobe? Like,
absolutely.
You know what's going to happen is Blaine's going to put on the duster, get the apocalypse kit, walk out his door, and get killed by somebody who actually is going to survive. Here's what all your preparation is going to lead to. This conversation that somebody else has going, hey, where'd you get that duster? It's like, oh, I killed a guy.
Gavin or Google, Google or Gavin, which one said it? Let's find out. Hey!
I'm feeling lucky.
All right, why can't a dog? Either Gavin or Google said, why can't a dog just relax when the doorbell rings?
That's Gavin. I want to hear the next one.
All right, you're committed. And then the other one was, why can't a dog and cat breed?
Oh, I think you may have fucked up. There's no way Gavin's that dumb.
Jack is correct.
Yes. I'm willing to bet that's because you now have a dog, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably sick of that dog.
It's what they're used to. Like my dogs, I've never had a doorbell. I have a doorbell now in my new place, so I decided to do an experiment. I walked outside, I rang the doorbell, nothing.
Really? It'd be interesting to take a doorbell speaker and put it in like a park and see which dogs go mental. All the dogs that just sat there are like, I don't know what that was. I've never heard that in my
I
life.
imagine you buying like an ice cream truck, rolling up to the dog park, and you're just like, ding dong. And all the dogs are like, fuck these balls. What was that?
They'd be like, where the fuck is the door?
Well, that's one thing is like whenever someone comes up at the convention, like we were taking photos downstairs and there were a bunch of people there like, hey, Bernie, can you sign this? Hey, can you do this? I said, sure. And I stopped and everything. Are my guardians. They're like, we've got to get you to your panel. You've got to go, Bernie. And there was one guy like right there. And he's like, can I just take a photo with you? And I'm like, sure, absolutely. And they're like, Bernie. And I'm like, it'll just be 1 second. He goes to take a selfie. And as soon as he does, it comes up, phone call, mom. And he goes, oh, shit. Hey, mom. No, mom. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm taking I'll call you back. Hangs up. We go to take the photo. Mom calls back. And he goes, decline. And he goes, sorry about that. Goes back to the camera because here, mom calls again. And he goes, Jesus. And the answer goes, Mom, no, please, no, God, no, Mom, I'm taking a photo, please. I'll just call you back. Hangs up. And like they pull me, they go, I gotta go. So we never got it. We never took the photo.
Oh, no.
As he's walking away, I heard, God damn it, Mom.
Oh, my God.
Can I admit something? It's going to make me sound like a horrible person.
Yeah.
I probably could have stayed. I thought it'd be a better story if I left.
Oh.
That's awful.
Wow. You asshole.
I'm a wee little sad Gavin. What's wrong, Gavin? Oi, Barbara, my best friend Birdie's gone. I thought Jordan was gone this week.
No, what the fuck, Barbara? Nobody's talking about Jordan. We're talking about Bernie. What the fuck's wrong with you? Shut up. I mean,
Righty-o. Oh, hey, there's Gus. No, there. Hey, Gus.
Hey, everybody. I just came from my house. The 10 minutes I was outside were the worst moments of my whole life.
What are you on about?
Oh, did you guys say Bernie?
Yeah, we miss him.
Me too. He's the best. If I was capable of making friends in any way whatsoever, he would probably be my best one.
I think he's great, and I think he's sweet and nice, and I think he's very handsome in a way that isn't all creepy based on our age difference or like our professional relationship or anything like that.
Hey guys, what's up? Bernie! Yeah, I just got back from fighter pilot training. I totally nailed it. They gave me the plane.
Oi, you're the greatest.
Totally. Hey, how about I tell you an anecdote that I haven't already told like 6 times on the podcast in the last 4 years?
Hey, that would be great.
Nah, you know what? I'll just go ahead and save it for the next time I'm on the podcast. You know, when there's like a big audience and stuff like that that's there to see me and only me.
You're coming back on the podcast, Bernie?
Nah, I have a new life now. Check it out. I got a new girlfriend. She's a nuclear scientist, man.
I'm good at math and bikinis.
So, I'll see you losers. Good luck with the explosion. I'm out of here. Oh, and don't tell Ashley about the girlfriend thing. That was just a joke, dudes.
Oh, oi.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, I'm sad too.
I'm probably the saddest. Hey, what do you think you meant about that explosion?
I remember, it reminds me of one time I was driving with my friends in high school. We were driving around, and there were these girls that were like our age, high school age, in a car next to us. And we were like kind of like driving next to each other, and like we would speed up and they would speed up and vice versa. It was kind of like flirty type driving. And I'm like maybe 17, and we're like, say something to her, say something to the girls. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. What do you want to say? And they're like, I don't know. You talk to her, Jeff. You're driving. And I was like, and because I was fucking terrible with women. So I pulled up next to him, and I got him to roll down the window. I was like, you did the universal window roll down.
Yeah. Did you give a bit of eyebrow as the window rolled?
Oh, I did, dude. I got eyebrow for days. So they roll down their window, the passenger side window, and they go, what? What do you want? And I go, and I fucking froze. And my friends were like, talk. And I was like, what time is it? And the girl goes, time for you to go to bed, buddy. And then she rolled up the window and they drove away.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. And then that was it. That was like, all right, well, tonight's over. We're fucking the dumbest losers of all time.
Do you ever pick up a rock and think, I wonder how far this rock is away from where it started?
I thought about that with bugs. When a bug got in the
Sometimes.
car, and then you roll the window down, and the bug goes like near the window, and then goes zoop out the window. I thought, he has no fucking idea where he is. He's never getting back home, ever.
Or a bug on a plane.
A bug on a plane would
and
be
it flies out. It's like, Christ.
What happened?
I'm in Africa now.
I went in the tube. I came out of the tube. Did I come out the wrong side of the tube? It's like everything is different.
And then it tries to get back by just sitting in different metal tubes. And it's like, this one doesn't work at all. So the other day, Caleb was taking a picture, and he was like posing like he was throwing a football, and then Jeff took the football from him and then just drove off with it.
Like, he was like, go long, like an idiot. So I was like, yeah, throw me the football. So he threw me the football, and I was like, all right, cool, see you guys later. And then I left. And he was like running down the road after me.
That was fucking funny.
I threw the football in the back seat, and then I came back, and I went back to grab the football, and I realized I had a basketball in the back seat, because Millie and I just played basketball, so I gave that to him. And the fucking look of confusion on his face was priceless.
That was the podcast where in the middle of the movie, like, okay.
I had like this burning sensation in my stomach, and it feels like something is going to break out of my stomach.
So a normal person would have just gone, I feel terrible. I just gotta head out. But it's like the middle of the movie, the music's dramatic. Joel leans forward and goes, something's wrong with me. And he slowly gets up, he's like, oh. No. I was like, no. Joel's going to die. No. Joel's going to keel over. So I watched him walk down the stairs, because I'm going to have to go after him, because he's going to collapse. And then he comes back in and goes, I guess the pizza was bad or something. I almost had a heart attack there. I don't think I've ever been that scared over anyone's health. I almost ran after you.
All right. You think this whole story is a commentary on Joel, but your friend is dying, and you're sitting in your theater seat going, oh my Lord, he's going to die. I almost got up. I almost stood up. That's how concerned I was.
Is there going to be paperwork associated with this trailer? There's going to be insurance forms and
He's
ambulance
watching
forms.
you die, and all he's thinking is, fuck, I have to get a black suit.
Because they leave a load of stuff in space sometimes, like space debris. Yeah. And I was thinking, well, surely they're going to run out of room. But then you realize that the sky is bigger than the ground.
This is science.
The sky is bigger than... That's the next T-shirt. Gavin Free. The sky is bigger than the ground.
Can you hear through your head? Space gravity is different to planet gravity.
Space gravity is different to planet gravity.
How do you know that your brain is... Like,
this go on.
Not so much now, but say this is pre-medicine and you were just a dude and you're like, hey, I'm a dude. How would you discover that your brain was like where it is? How would you know?
I was expecting. Okay, you have no medical training whatsoever, no knowledge of anatomy.
There's no medicine yet.
There's no medicine.
Like, people are just dudes hanging out.
How the fuck do you know what a brain is?
Yeah, but how do you know what? Like, surely someone must have, like, the leg come off and then they're like, oh, I'm alive still. But someone's head comes off and it's like, oh, they died. You know what I mean?
It all depends. Sometimes they hide it in the dish cabinet.
I've got a funny fart story.
Dude, I was going to tell the funny fart story right now. Another funny fart story is earlier you left the room and Jeff farted like hardcore right in your coffee. Like 20 seconds later, you came back in and immediately took the biggest swig of that coffee, and I had to turn away because I was laughing so hard.
Now I'm going to get sick.
Then I like cleaned myself up, and I was like, coffee good? And you're like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then you left the room. You left the room, and Jeff and I just lost it.
I remember you asking me, and it was weird. It was a weird question.
Drank his butt juice. It was like, and then you put it right in your mouth.
And I wasn't even asking any questions. I was like, yeah, thanks for asking.
There's nothing weird about this at all.
I'm going to get sick.
You left the room. I told Jeff that was the best acting I've ever done in my life. Damn it, Jeff. Your fart
That's how it
dar is
starts.
amazing. You don't even know it. You just go right for Jeff's farts every time. Oh.
You get all those Netflix achievements?
I got a bunch. I didn't
Wait,
get all
what?
of them.
Wait, so is
I
there
got
really
achievements in
achievements
all
for
of
this?
those.
Yeah.
For like watching videos and shit.
What is that? What achievement is that? A fungus could get that achievement. Like a fucking mushroom could achieve that.
Kind of got weird with that argument, Ryan.
Why is that weird?
Because a fungus actually can't get the achievement. It does not have the fucking capacity to push the buttons on the controller.
You could drop a controller into a box of mushrooms. It'd probably hit enough on the way down to get an achievement.
You'd have to fucking plug the Xbox in, turn it on, get a fucking internet connection, pay for the internet connection. That's a lot of shit for a fungus to
You do that for other people in your house anyway. I do that for my kid.
But he doesn't do it. You're doing it for him.
Also, your kid isn't fungus.
I know my kid's not fungus.
What was the name of the other Adams kid? That was like Pubert or something, wasn't it?
No, it was Pugsley.
Pubert. Yeah, you're right. Pubert.
There you go.
Yeah.
Idiot.
There was a kid called Pubert.
No, there
No.
wasn't.
Well, I don't know where I'm getting that from. My brain is just mush.
I don't know where you get anything.
Coming from the guy with a fungus for a child.
We're going to never have this conversation again. Ryan's going to come in with his fucking third kid and be like, guys, meet Pubert Haywood. He's a piece of fungus.
Pubert Spore Haywood.
He has 6 achievements.
Fucking Pubert.
What? Is it real?
It's not real! No, it's not real!
I want to Google it.
It'll be in the dictionary next to names that the doctor would slap you for trying to use.
Michael, read it.
Hang on. In the 1993 film, Adam's Family Values, fucking Gomez and Morticia have a third child, a son they lovingly name Pubert. Are you fucking kidding me?
How do you know that?
Pubert Adams! What the fuck?
Gavin was right about something.
When I was 10, I didn't pee my pants, but I got up in the middle of the night and peed in the oven. I don't
Were
know.
you drunk?
No. I just stumbled up and I don't know, somehow I start peeing and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm peeing. Never mind, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom.
Wait, so you were able to stop peeing midstream?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's pretty hard.
Well, I mean, if you're peeing in an oven, it's not hard to do. No, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, whoa, what am I doing?
The next time they cooked something, did it smell funny?
So I went to Six Flags recently, and it's always exciting to see a Rooster Teeth shirt in the wild. We're used to seeing them at conventions. They're everywhere.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
all over the gaff. I was walking past a girl, and she was wearing X-Ray and Vav shirt. In my head, I think, oh, X-Ray and Vav. And I carried on walking, and I was like, oh, no, wait a second. We're not at a convention. This is the public. So I looked at her and said, nice shirt, and she said, thanks. And then she freaked out, and then she was pointing to her mum, and she was like, he's the guy. He's on my shirt. And she was like, what?
You know what would have made that better? Is if you had a jacket on and you opened it up and you had a shirt of her mother on it. How much would she have freaked out right at that moment, right?
Hey! Barbara sent me the stupidest text in the world this weekend. She sent a photo of herself and she had blood on her head.
It's fake blood.
Well, whatever, fake blood. That's not the important part. She sends me the picture of herself like that, and I'm like, oh, Barbara's got fake blood on, obviously. But then she sends a text right after it where she just writes, help me. And that's it. She writes, help me. And then she shuts off her fucking phone. So I write, what's that from? No response. Then about 5 minutes later, I go, hey, just want to make sure, you wrote help me. Want to make sure everything's okay. No response. Like, fuck. So then I call her phone. It goes straight to voicemail. I'm sitting at my house. I know for a fact she's perfectly okay, but I'm thinking, she texted me help me and didn't text anything else after that. So then I'm like, fuck, I got to do something about this. Because just imagine, I'm explaining to the cops, yeah, she sent me a photo of herself covered in blood, and she really helped me, but that's how we work. That's the way our business
Okay, but
is.
do you really think that if I was in a situation where I was injured, I would open up my phone, take a picture of myself, text you, rather than just call an ambulance?
No, I don't, but that's why I had to check. I'm just like, I know she's not in danger, but I still have to fucking make sure. So I start calling people who live nearby to her going, hey, I'm across town. Do you know where Barbara is? Can you go just knock on her door, just make sure she's okay? She sent me this stupid text. And they were all together, it turns out.
Yeah.
And
Me and
they
Kara were
laughed
just
and they laughed.
I was hoping to come back to my apartment to find my door being broken down.
I would have called the cops to teach you a lesson. They knocked your door in. So thanks, Barb.
No problem.
And it sounds stupid, but the problem with helium is that it's so light, it just floats away. So it's hard to find.
You someone with a bucket just at the top of the sky. Just puts his hand over it. I got some.
I just imagine the old helium miners. It's like, we hit a pocket of gas. What was it? I don't know. We can't figure it out.
Barbara, jump on here and tell us what you thought of Bacon, the restaurant.
I was kind of unimpressed, to
What
be
did you
honest.
have? You just had fries.
Here's the thing. A restaurant called Bacon should only have bacon.
Yeah, but bacon isn't a meal.
Well, I ordered the bacon fries in my mind, thinking that they were going to be little strips of bacon as french fries.
I would like to go to Barbara's restaurant when she opens.
God.
It's just like steak place. It's like, I'd like a steak and potatoes. We don't have potatoes. We just have steak and smaller steaks on the side. I have a glass of wine. We have blood.
But like I remember one of the first times we were at Comic-Con, we had an autograph signing table, and the cast from Superman 2, they were using the table before us. First I was like, wow, that's really cool. But then like they wouldn't leave, you know? And we had this big line that was waiting for us, and then they looked up and they were like, but we have this big line, we can't leave now. And it's like I felt genuinely bad because like everybody in the line had a red versus blue DVD. I couldn't say they're not here for you. But then Margot Kidder, who played
Lois
Lane, she gets up and she's kind of like older hippie kind of vibe to her. And she's like, what are you guys doing here? What's all this stuff? What are these DVDs and all this jazz you guys got going on? And we're like, oh, we just did this little web show, and, we're just here at Comic-Con for the first time. It's kind of fun. She's like, that's great. Now I want you to get out there, and you go get them. And then, I swear to God, she pulls a 10-speed bike out of nowhere. She gets on it, rings the bell, bring, bring, and rides away through the convention center, through Comic-Con.
Yeah. The only way it would have been more perfect is if she was like chomping on a giant cigar at the same time.
Well, if you're at the red light and it's your job to go and you're not going, yeah, you're distracted. You need to be going.
Fair enough.
You know what would fix that, Chris? Robot cars! When robot cars come, I won't care about traffic because I'll be able to do stuff while I'm in the car. Being like, take me to work. And I'll be like, working, and I feel like I'm listening to a fifth grader's book report. I would love to hear Chris say all the problems that robot cars are going to fix. Well, everything. Public transportation, all right. So say you have you finish your car, and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to work. Your car could go around and pick people up and take other people to work. You could buy a car and then tell it to go make money for you. Chris, you're blowing my mind. You're absolutely right. Just tell the car, go make money. Yeah, you could, and it would. Pat it. It would be weird though. The car would rely on a human to fill it up with gas. It would like pull into the gas and you'd be like, well, maybe then. Hey. Maybe then there would be gas attendants. How bitter would you be if a car pulled up with nobody in it and you had to fill it with gas? I would be so fucking bitter. I would be like, I'm not doing this job anymore.
Like scrape the nozzle all down the ceiling side of the car. There you go.
Or Ryan could doppelganger
No,
Jack.
Ryan, he already has.
I have. Remember I put him in the beard
Yeah.
and have him do his impression of Jack? Oh, we got to find that fake beard. I always wondered what happened to it.
It disappeared.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Apparently Domino's is looking to like unmanned drones to deliver pizza.
Could they be called drone minnows?
No, they couldn't.
Did you
that
see?
wouldn't be their name.
What do you scan it? Like, what is going in the
Like
cat's
when you're
brain?
going to see get an MRI in your head or a CAT scan.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Burns.
Thanks, everybody.
So happy right now.
The debate over pulp and no pulp, by the way. The debate, though, goes right out the window. You like pulp in yours?
Pulp for life.
Someone should write a story about this and call it Pulp Fiction.
Just shut the fuck up.
You're the nonfiction idiot.
Sorry, I changed
That's
my
cool.
answer to Domadrones. Sorry.
Wow,
That's not any
great
better.
Improvement. That's 2 strikes, Barbara.
We should set up like the pun strike meter. And
Make a
eventually, the drone comes and gets you and takes you and flies you off.
Barbara Drunkelman.
That's 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Barbara Dunkelman.
Hey, big hands, Barbara Dunkelman.
I don't want to leave.
While we're on the topic of fucking gross shit, Carrie and I recently got back from MCM London. It was super fun.
You got sick, didn't you?
I did get sick. It was Saturday night. I start feeling a little sick, a little nauseous. I throw up, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this sucks. And then I start getting, like, bowel problems. It was not good. And then a few hours later, it got to the point where I threw up so hard, I lost my voice. And I realized I couldn't talk. And I'm just not feeling really right. So I tried calling Carrie, but he couldn't hear me when I talked.
So then I texted him, and I texted him something along the lines of like, I think I'm in a bad spot. Cons you come help me's. So he comes over, and he opens the door, and I'm standing there shaking. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? I look like some sort of drug addict or something.
Oh, my God.
And the people, like the hotel we were staying at, I couldn't talk. So when I called them, they go, hello, this is the front desk. And I go, hi, yes, could you please bring me some medicine? And they immediately go, oh, yeah, what would you like? As if, like, we're keeping secrets now. At one point, I wanted just something other than water. Try the 7-Up. So he gives me a 7-Up, and I'm like, oh, God, this is delicious. And I hand it to Carrie, and he's going for it. And then, according to Carrie, my eyes just exploded out of my head, and I slammed this Coke down, and I jump up. As I'm going into the bathroom, I go, then I hear,
Oh, God.
are you fucking kidding me? I shit myself. I threw up so hard I pooped my pants. That was,
it's gotta get out.
That was my first trip to London.
If I tell a story, can I say before that I don't want Jordan to animate it? Is that possible?
You can say it.
So Ashley busted me watching porn. Oh. So, yeah. I go through the whole story here. I was downstairs doing something, and she went to bed early. So I went upstairs, and I was like, hey, what's up, bubba? And she's like, I'm really tired.
Having none of it.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm laying there in bed. I was like, I'll just go downstairs. So I go downstairs. Get out the laptop. What am I saying? It's a very important story. I use my phone. Take care of business. So everything's fine. Go to sleep. The next day, we're getting ready for work. And I had something that I needed to put in the trunk of the car. Ashley gets in the car. The car activates. And then the car goes, hey, Bluetooth. And connects to my Bluetooth and starts playing what's on my phone. I'm outside the car. So she's in the car. So I get in the fucking car. And I get halfway to work, and the radio's been turned down, but it's got the URL, like, up on the thing with the description of the file.
Oh, my God.
And she goes, what are you listening to? And she even gave me a great out. She goes, oh, you did a risky click? I'm like, no, I just straight up busted for that. Fucking car from the future. Shit, piece of shit.
I had a really strange dream about my dog, Benjamin. In my dream, I'm walking down 6th Street about to take a right on a Congress. And walking towards me is like a crowd of people. And amongst them is my dog. And he doesn't see me. So I'm like, why the fuck is my dog out on the street? And he walks into a bar. And I'm like, why is my dog going into that bar? So like I was like, I'm going to follow my dog. So I kind of sneaking behind him. And then there's a bunch of stairs in the bar. And I'm annoyed because I'm like, motherfucking dog doesn't walk up the stairs in my place. Like, he comes to this bar and he walks up the stairs just fine. Whatever. He goes up the stairs. He gets up to the top. And he jumps up onto a couch that's in the bar. And he starts like rubbing his face on the couch. And he is not allowed on my couch because I don't like him rubbing his fucking face on my couch. I'm like, that fucking asshole dog. He's rubbing his face on the couch here at the bar. And I asked the bartender, I'm like, what's the deal with that dog? What's it doing here?
Like you didn't know him?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, that dog always comes in here. That's what he does. He comes in and he rubs his face. I'm like, what the fuck is my dog doing? So, I say, Benjamin. And he like looks at me like, oh shit, I got caught. And I go over and pick him up. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in this bar? And like, I'm walking out the door like, I take you back home? What the fuck is wrong with you?
But I had a dream. I was telling Gab about this. We went out to L.A., and one of the things we did was we went out to dinner with Colton, and we went to a pub to eat. Colton said this is the best burger he's ever had. So I was like, all right, if he's here, I don't really have a preference for what's in the menu. I'm going to get exactly what Colton gets. It's like one of those thick burgers, which are not my preference. Anyway, I ate the whole thing, as I do, because my parents told me to.
Yeah.
And we went back to the hotel, and I guess I just ate really late in the day, and usually food has no effect on me, but for whatever reason, that hamburger was sticking with me. I go to sleep, and I had 4 or 5 dreams, and through all 4 or 5 dreams, I had the hamburger with me in all 4 or 5.
I just love the idea of you finishing your third dream, you've rescued the princess and killed the goblin, and then you're like, whew, all right, better crack on with this again.
That's exactly what it was. That was
it's like snow skiing. Just eating burgers.
There'd be a conversation with people talking, and I would literally pull it out of nowhere. I'd be like, "You guys keep talking. I have got to finish this burger." It was very important that I finish the burger.
I need to finish this before school tomorrow.
I got to meet a dog at a bar.
Let's move on to our second game, which is Impromptu Pitch, where we take prompts from the internet, and we're going to have our teams come up with a film pitch. Godzilla, all-girls school, murder mystery. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock.
Go. So Godzilla was the newest member of the St. Margaret Academy of Girls.
Joel?
Suddenly, Gorgon the Destroyer emerged from the fourth dimension,
holding a nice little lunch for both Godzilla and Gorgon. They were going to visit each other and hang out and talk about their first...
Gorgon said, unto thee, the girls' school of mystery, I shall eat all of your faces!
Jack.
But Godzilla was like, hey, why don't we just eat these bananas and sandwiches we made for each other and, meet some new friends because we're new to this area.
Oh, fuck yes! Said Gorgon. Now we shall have meeting all of the girls' school from Gorgon's happy place.
And it was odd because Godzilla was really attracted to this other girl named Mothra, who she saw across the lunchroom while she was...
Mothra flew across the sky! And destroyed the bell to which did stop him.
Do you know how I used to collect Pokemon cards?
You bullied for him, didn't you?
I did, in a way. After church, every Sunday, all the kids would go over to what we called the Jesus Corner, and we would talk about the lesson that we learned that day, and we would exchange Pokemon cards. And every Sunday, I would cry and go up to someone and go, I lost all of my cards. Someone stole them all. Can I have your extras? And they were like, yeah, sure. Here, I've got this holographic thing here. I've got a ton of element cards. Yeah. And I was like, ha, ha, ha.
Your Charmander's Charmine
now.
I have a terribly painful story in a similar fashion where I would bring my Pokemon cards to church on Sunday. And then my grandmother would take them away because I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon in church.
Well, yeah, because
I never got to see him again.
Hey, if you get to heaven and God's like, fucking battle me for it, I'll be like, all right, I'm prepared.
He's the champion.
You can only get in heaven if you beat
Yeah.
me.
Ghost Pokemon. Holy Spirit.
There is a distinct possibility we're all going to hell after this.
I think I'm going to beat God. It's
Yeah,
all
if
right.
I lose the battle, I am.
There's different doctors who are doing this research where they are taking diseases to kill cancer in the human body.
So it's like cockfighting for diseases.
Yeah, it's like a robber breaking into someone's house and seeing a fire and being like, this house I'm breaking into is on fire. You might want to come check this out.
Would you do that if you were breaking into a house?
I probably would.
No, because it would destroy the evidence.
Yeah, but I'd feel bad.
Well, let me tell you this. If you stole the stuff, you'd be doing them a favor. Because the stuff's going to be destroyed anyway. It's like, it's going to be destroyed. At least you'll get some use.
If you see a house burning down, it's okay to go steal from it.
No.
Trust me.
People will think that you're helping, like trying to get valuables out. You're like, just put them in the car. Put them in the car.
Quick. All right, I gotta go.
There's no time to explain.
I'm taking it somewhere colder.
It's absolutely okay then.
It doesn't work the other way around. Like if you see someone robbing the place and you just burn the place down.
I trying to burn down that robber.
I was trying to burn the robber down.
I'm glad we have Matt here, actually. I forgot about Drunk Matt until...
I haven't seen Drunk Matt in years.
Hey, Drunk Matt forgets about himself.
I've experienced Drunk Matt only a few times over the years. For the first time was definitely San Diego Comic-Con.
When I got drunk and bought like 30 people dinner.
Oh, God, that was a Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, and then my wife was like, well, thanks, now we can't pay our mortgage for the next 2 months.
Was that where you complimented the lady's tie?
Yeah, the bartender's like, nice tie, did you get it for Father's Day?
And the lady pulled Gus and I aside and she was like, I'm going to kick your friend out. And we're like, no, it's cool.
And then you went to a booth, laid down and passed out. Security came by and told you had to leave. That's also happened visiting video game developers or partners.
Yeah.
Drunk Matt appears. We're in the car outside of a meeting. We're like, Matt, don't say anything. Just be quiet.
It also happens immediately, right? It's like a light switch. Like, do you remember one time we were in Seattle and we're in line talking about getting dinner, and Matt's like, they're having a conversation with us, and we turn around and he's suddenly gone, and we found him like down the street to the left in a grocery store buying more beer and like harassing the checkout lady.
Yeah,
that's right.
They wouldn't let him buy the beer, so he ended up having to go to the self-checkout, and I had to help you with your self-checkout. Like, you couldn't buy the beer on your
thing
own.
about the self-checkout is it's never going to like take your keys away.
Yeah. There's no breathalyzer on the self-checkout.
So I had my balls inspected the other week.
By who? You had an ultrasound, right?
Yeah, by a doctor.
What?
Yeah.
So you had a ultrasound?
Was it kicking?
Ultrasound. I'm having a boy is the end of the story.
The title of the story is... Today I learned a man fell on a high-pressure air valve. It lodged in his butt and inflated him to twice his size.
No.
Do you think that he saw the error of his ways?
Oh, dear Lord.
You need glasses when you do math because it helps with division.
He performed his own
with a mirror
appendectomy.
God. He was Russian, I believe.
Well, yeah, he's in a big hurry.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Barbara.
Ba-dum-bum. Wah.
Brandon was like,
want
I don't
shirts?
think they're going to let us give him back the goat. I'm like, what does that mean? Brandon got suckered.
He's a very bad negotiator.
Thank you, Barbara.
And we enable extra caching on the nights we do red versus blue releases.
So the website goes to what we call slow mode.
Yes. So
Slow mode, guys.
we
Why the fuck did French fries just show up here?
They're so good. Because the Risemongler bought them. Thanks, Risemongler.
Yeah, thanks for the fries, dickhead.
Thank you,
Everyone
John
here.
Freisinger.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one, Barb.
I think Drunk Matt also appeared that night.
Wasn't he stuck on a table or something?
What happened was he got separated and we couldn't find you, so I called you on the phone and you said you were on the subway. I was like, there's no subway in Seattle. I'm on the subway. And I saw a Subway sandwich shop like a block away. And I was like, I bet he's over there. As I walked over, the shop wasn't even open. You were literally just standing outside of a closed Subway saying you're on the subway.
Oh, dude, that trip, you pissed me off so bad because you and I were hanging out drinking. You and I were having a conversation. We're looking, sitting in a booth or something. And then you get a little, distracted for a second. And then you go, you're not going to believe what I just saw. And I go, what? And you go, that hot chick over at the bar? And I turn around and I go, yeah. And she goes, she totally just lifted her top and flashed everybody in the bar her boobs. And I go, for how long? And you were like 5 or 6 seconds. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? Why are you telling me now? And you're like, oh, I just didn't think to include you. And in the apology, she did it again. And you go, oh, dude, you're going to hate me. Yeah, but she just did it again. I turn around again and I'm like, and I just missed it. She's like putting her shirt down. I'm like, whoa. You have the worst timing ever. And then she's like, see you guys later. And she took off. I will never forget that for the rest of my life. That is the boobs that got away.
That's always the worst moment when you realize, oh, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's just like super. That happened to me in Vegas at a blackjack table where I was just like drinking, and at one point just like
I got kicked out of a blackjack table. The last time we were in Vegas, yeah. I spilled literally every other player's drink.
That's what I did. That's what I did. Yeah, I did like a hand motion where it's like stay. Like the hand motion for staying in blackjack is also like knock all over the drinks over. And it's like, and that's what I did. And it's like, it occurred to me, oh, I'm that guy. And as I realized I'm that guy, I said it at the same time. I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. And it was just like, I'm out.
You know you're in bad shape when a casino tells you you're too drunk for them to take your money anymore.
Yeah. I wouldn't let them have that opportunity. I just called myself out. I was like, that's it. I'm out.
I think as I was being led away, I yelled, it's my choice to leave.
Classic Drunk Matt.
It's my choice.
That makes me wonder, too, because landing and crashing are pretty much the same mechanic. At what point does a landing become a crash?
When the plane is no longer in one piece.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
You got to break something off.
I think it's when the plane is touching the ground without a wheel.
A crash is a landing from which you cannot take off again. That's an interesting distinction. So if you're out of gas, you crashed. The pilot goes home. Plane crash.
Someone opens the emergency door, crashed.
The 5 signs of crash. 1, no wings. 2, all burned up. 3, passengers outside the plane. I don't know what the last 2 are. I don't remember. So those are the 5 signs of crash.
We were bad people also when we were younger. Jeff and I. We had a thing we'd go to random parties and we'd call it Klepto Club. We would have a contest to see who could steal the craziest thing from any random party near campus. So we would just literally walk into parties. We don't know anybody. And then one time we walked out, Jeff had a giant, 5-foot tall cactus. And we were running down the street.
That's pretty awesome.
We couldn't fit it in the car. We're trying to figure out how to
go.
That's pretty.
When is Achievement Hunter going to put out an ASMR video?
Well, let's try our.
You want to do one right now?
I had SMR.
Yeah.
Set up a scene, Gavin.
Let Gavin do it.
Oh, it's role play. Ryan, you're a naughty chef.
A naughty chef. Okay, Gavin, would you like to chop my vegetables?
I don't like this anymore.
Chop, 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 chop. Gavin, peel the carrots.
Oh, hang on.
Hey,
Run the peeler.
Hey, Ryan.
Down the carrot.
Ryan, can you grab my cucumbers?
I'm just
going to
rustle some.
Oh, I've got your cucumbers
I'm
right
just going
here.
to rustle the packaging.
Hold on, I'm just going to wash them. Scrub. The shaft of your cucumber is so bumpy.
Ryan, that sauce is so good. I gotta lick my lips. It's so good. Ready? Hang on.
Just tease it.
Yeah. Why don't you try a little bit of this one? Here, open your mouth. There it is.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like it. I like to get my lips wet, and then when you talk, you have that little saliva smack.
Gavin, open the oven. Let me put this big roast in.
Just be gentle.
Do you think there's room?
Tease it.
Slide it in. There it is.
Oil it.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of olive oil.
Baste it.
Nice.
You just use it.
That's browning up. Oh, yeah.
The skin's getting really crispy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see the way the grease drips down the side of the breast?
Succulent.
The breast is my favorite part of the chicken. I'll suck it.
Can we stop it out?
One time, Jack and I were at E3, and there was Microsoft threw this basement party, and like Ice-T and Coco were there, and like Zachary Levi and like Nathan Fillion, and every contact we have ever had at Microsoft or at Bungie, and it was in a absinthe bar. And so they would give you these little shots of absinthe in these cute little bottles. And so I was just like, drinking them like you drink beer.
Like 4 at a time?
Yeah. And I was having fun. I was like mixing it up and feeling like I was working the room. And I walked up to the bartender at some point and I go, hey, I'd like to get another drink. And the bartender goes, I can't let you have any more alcohol. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, man, I got to cut you off. You're too drunk. And I was like, oh, fuck, I am? I didn't even know I was that drunk. Really? And I looked at Jack and I go, Jack, I'm too drunk. And he's like, what do you mean? And I go, the bartender just cut me off. And he's like, do you want me to get you a drink? I'm like, no, we have to leave right now. There are way too many people here that I don't want to embarrass Rooster Teeth in front of. We just gotta go. Because if the bartender, he would know. I don't feel drunk, but if the bartender says I'm drunk, I'm drunk. I was so freaked out. I got so nervous because you're looking over and I was like, Frankie's over there. And I'm like, don't talk to Frankie. What did I say to Frankie? Oh my God, I just talked to Frankie 30 minutes ago. What did I say to Allison Stroll? So we just got the hell out of there.
You're reminding me of something funny. So we were coming back from E3 and we went to the lounge, but we were sitting there. We were having a bit of a laugh because we were listening to this guy right across from us. The guy looked like he was like 80, but he's on his phone and he's like, no, I ordered the Pip-Boy edition, but they were sold out. So I got one on eBay. I got it for $300. So I'm all good. Yeah, I've got it. I was like, who's this old dude playing fucking Fallout 4 and ordering a Pip-Boy edition? He must have been in the industry. And while we're sitting there listening to him, this page comes over saying, Mike Barnes, please come back to the front area. Those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Burns. That's where Bernie comes from, is my last name, Burns. And they were paging Michael Barnes. And I go, are they saying Barnes? They're saying Barnes. It's not me. Then they paged again because the person didn't come. Michael Barnes, please come up. Recheck. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going up. So I walked up and I said to this lady, I'm Michael Burns. Are you paging Michael Barnes? She goes, I paged Michael Barnes. And I said, I'm Michael Burns. Are you saying Burns or Barnes? She goes, I paged Michael Barnes. Are you Michael Barnes? And I go, I'm Michael Burns. She goes, hold on a second. She goes, Bernie. And I go, what? And she goes, hold on. Bernie. The person to her left was named Bernie, this lady.
Oh,
she goes,
my
Bernie,
God.
Did you page a Michael Burns? And she goes, Michael Barnes. And I go, okay, I'm fine. And this guy walks up and he goes, I'm Michael Barnes. Was
he old dude?
I said, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this situation.
I can just imagine you being in this like spiral of crap, just pulling out a gun and shooting yourself in the face.
Who's on first? And it was so impromptu. That happened so naturally. When she goes, I paged Michael Barnes. I go, I'm Michael Burns. She goes, hold on a second. Bernie. And I go, what? I must have seemed like an insane person to her.
Flight there was fine.
Yeah.
Flight back was something else.
Was that your story? You said you had a story.
Yeah, so I introduced Michael to the wonders of first class.
It's true.
So we
Heck
sit
yeah.
down, and right before the plane takes off, Gary Busey shows up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, that's cool. It's Gary Busey. You don't see that every day. And then at some point in the plane, I had to turn to the lady next to me, and I go, it's amazing how quickly you can go from, holy shit, that's Gary Busey, to, holy shit, would somebody shut Gary Busey the fuck up? Dude. If you made eye contact with him, you got sucked into a conversation.
He got a guy across from him, and the guy was just like sweating just to have a conversation with him. Like Gary Busey was talking to him, but like interrogating him at the same time. The guy's like, I'm a CPA. He's like, what? What are you? What do you do?
Yeah, Gary Busey can't hear
anything. The flight
like-
attendant asked, will you be dining with us today? I'm not kidding, like 9 fucking times.
Because he goes, what? You got to speak up, honey. I can't hear you. What? And she's like a fucking inch from him. What? At some point, the poor woman, she goes, you know what? The guy next to you will explain it.
At one point, like, he's talking to the CPA, and the guy goes, oh, you live in Austin? And he's like, what? Do you live in Austin? And he goes, this is America. I live where I'm standing. I was like, all right.
We had a ton of like homespun wisdom-y type shit like that. Gary's like, you been to Austin before? And they're like, no, it's our first time. And he's like, well, enjoy the weather. And they're like, yeah, I bet it's going to be hot as hell. And he goes, no, I'm from Texas, and we got to say it in Texas. And I'm like, oh, this should be good. And he goes, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And the guy's like, okay, why? And he's like, because it'll change. And they're like,
yeah.
all right.
Guy was just like, yeah, it's crazy. And he's like, no, it's not crazy. It's weather.
He did do that.
I'm like, okay. Like, I'm just trying to go along with you, guy. Like, what do you want from me?
He got bused hard.
He got bused.
Oh, yeah, Michael, I came with a new verb. You don't want to get bused.
No, not
if
at all.
possible.
It was great to watch.